people are calling, Cindy, the 2nd of April, I say people, Donald Trump is calling the 2nd of April Tariff Day, the big one, Liberation Day. What are we expecting to see announced? And is there anything companies listening to this right now can do to prepare for Liberation Day?
If Liberation Day. I'm sorry. I just can't with that. Um, but I think we're seeing a little bit of softening in the approach. And I think, there was some talk in the press today about the consideration of a delay. And I think that's driven by, nervousness about the market, about, a lot of individuals understanding how it is impacting the economy in the US. And it's starting to show on softening sales and markets that are being affected that they didn't really think would be affected. But I think, to get to the second part of your question, what can people do? And I've been saying in an uncontrollable situation, which is exactly what this is for everyone in international trade, focus on what you can control. And what you can control is the data that you have on your supply chain. Knowing your supply chain, we've been saying that for, a decade or more. But it's so much more critical now, and it's not just how the goods are transported. It is where you are sourcing them. What secondary markets are you in? What duplications do you have in your process so that you know what your entire puzzle looks like and what pieces you can remove or shift around and still have the same picture. And that's really critical, I think, in this era, because nobody knows what's coming. Nobody can predict. Anyone who can predict what's going to happen on April 2nd is lying. We're just taking a best guess because there's no previous example to base this on other than the past 2 months.
So we don't know anything about implementation dates. We don't know who's going to be targeted, what type of tariffs, reciprocal tariffs, timelines. Will this be instant? Will there be a planning? No, we know nothing.
Well, we've seen references to the Dirty 15 by the administration, and those are the top 15 countries that have trade deficits with the United States. And we're hearing more about it's just going to be one flat fee instead of on a product by product basis, which would be horrendous to try to, administer. But if something happens, it'll happen on those 15 countries. I think we can all say that. When it'll happen, what will happen, yeah, it's anyone's guess.
Greg, more prosaically, you cover transatlantic markets, shipping and air. How have tariff policies been playing out there?
Well, on the ocean side, the carriers say there's no real sign of front loading in their bookings. But when you look at particular commodities, like in particular wine and spirits, which was where Trump threatened that 200% tariff, there has been quite a strong push by US importers to try to get their booze into the country before April 2.
Because we're going to need it on April 2. That's
absolutely. You're going to be, you won't be celebrating. You'll be going the other way. But when Trump made that threat earlier this month, it was probably already too late to get products on the water. So a lot of the cargo shifted to air, and that's where we've been seeing a strong bump in tonnage over the last couple of weeks.